Well, hello, I'm Danita Lynn, and I'm bringing to you another segment of Forgiveness in COVID. This week's story is about talk I had with a young lady named Jessica. Jessica is only 33 years old, but her story is quite the roller coaster ride that starts out back before she was even conceived. You see, her parents were divorced when they got together that one last time, and Jessica was conceived. Unfortunately, her father didn't want her to be here, but her mother did. And that led to daddy issues that kind of are interwoven throughout her life and before she finally came to a point where she could forgive. At age 5, Jessica experienced molestation. Now, she didn't share with me whether or not that was a family member, but I just know that any experience like that at age 5, or any age for that matter, is detrimental to your soul. It led to her becoming ready and willing to take on anybody who showed her the least little bit of love. And that happened at age 16. She met and married the man who showed her some love against her family's judgment and warning. And he ended up being an abusive man, physically, mentally, and emotionally. She stood up with that. She put up with that for 3 years. And finally, she decided one day, this is the last day you're going to beat me. And she left with her son in her car and never looked back. She was too ashamed to call home for help, though, because they warned her, don't marry him. You kidding? So she lived in her car for a while and finally put aside enough of her pride to call home and go back. Unfortunately, she took back with her the residue of all that that man had done to her and her son. She had to figure out how to deal with it. So she coped. Drugs, drug of choice specifically being alcohol, you know? Yeah, alcohol. And she remembers being in church service one day, hungover, in fact, and she heard the song, Yes, Jesus Loves Me. Now, that was a song she loved as a child, but this time it hit differently. And she changed. She realized she was ready to forgive. She heard God opening up the opportunity for her to forgive, and she started her healing process at that very moment. Fortunately, that led to Jessica being able to meet and marry her husband, who she currently is married to. He has helped her to heal in ways that she could not have even imagined. But last year, specifically, after experiencing 3 deaths from friends and family members who meant so much to her, Jessica realized that it was time to really make a change. You see, about 4 years ago, the ex-husband was in another relationship that he was also carrying on the same types of behavior in. And Jessica got a phone call one day from the young lady who was seeing her ex-husband and said, "You need to come and get your son. Something has happened." Jessica got there thinking that her son had done something wrong, only to find out that the look in that lady's face revealed that what was wrong was the ex was beating her now. Jessica reached out with a heart of compassion and said, "You can still get out. You don't have to stay." That moment of forgiveness that she showed 4 years ago came to a head when she had a conversation with the young lady to actually help her get out. Now, as you all know, we can't make anyone leave an abusive relationship. And unfortunately, the young lady decided to stay. So we're praying that she's safe. But what I do know is that the healing process that took place after that has been a blessing to every single person. Jessica can figure out who to bless, how to bless. She is sharing her story unashamed, and unfortunately, some of her family members aren't so happy about it. But guess what? Jessica said, I'm telling my trauma story and I'm sticking to it. And she is blessing young ladies who are in abusive relationships and showing them how to get out. If you happen to be one of them, Jessica will be tagged in this post. So feel free to reach out to her and see how you can get the help that you need. But for now, I want to encourage you to deal with your issues, tell your story, get to a place where you can forgive. However, you can do that, we're here to help, both myself and Jessica. I'll leave you with this one last line I want to say that she shared with me. She said her current husband, told her that she needed to get to a place where she could live with no ill feelings. Excuse me, sorry. She said she felt God told her that. She needed to live with no ill feelings in her heart. But what her husband did say was that she needed to learn how to forgive, even if the apology she thought she needed was something that she never got. So let that speak to you. If you never get the apology, you have to learn to forgive because forgiveness is for you. Live, love, forgive. This has been Forgiveness in COVID with Danita Lynn, and I thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you next week. All right? Until then, reach out, follow, stay in touch.